Celeste, can you come here again?
Yes? What's up, dear?
Oh, my tablet's busted again. Can you fix it for me?
Boop, boop, boop. There you go.
Okay, well, maybe it's not busted, but thank you.
You're welcome.
You, my dear, are my angel.
An angel? Well, that seems a little dramatic and definitely theologically incorrect. But thanks, dear. That's sweet.
Well, what do you mean? Why can't I call you my angel?
Well, you can call me your angel, but technically I'm not an angel.
But in society, we talk about angels as being, these humans up in the clouds, and they have wings, and they look down on us. Or we talk about our guardian angels, or often they'll talk about if a family member dies, then they float up, ooh, they go to heaven, and then they look down on us, and they're our own personal angels.
But that's not at all how the Bible portrays angels.
No, what do we know from the Bible? What does it say?
Well, even just think, for example, of when the angels announced the good news about Jesus' birth to the shepherds. The shepherds did not react like as if it was good news. I'm going to read to you a verse.
Okay.
Luke 2:9. And an angel of the Lord appeared to them, and the glory of the Lord shone around them, and they were filled with great fear. They were afraid.
You know what's weird? So in the Bible, every time you see an angel, people were filled with fear. And we know that there's demons. There's demons all around us now.
Oh, don't freak me out, dear.
But there's also demons in the Bible. When it mentions demons, it just seems very, that there was demons. But whenever an angel appears, it's just like, do not be afraid, because people were really freaked out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, why was that?
They must have been big, and they must have been scary.
Have you heard much teaching about these spiritual creatures?
No, not really. I think one of the questions I have is what should our response to them be?
Are you planning on entertaining some angels and demons, dear? Because if you are, I want to know about it.
You're my only angel, dear.
Oh, that's sweet. But again, so wrong.
Well, you can't blame a guy for trying. You have the face of an angel, is what I should say.
Then.
No, we just said that they're scary.
I'd be terrified.
You definitely do not have the face of an angel.
Maybe you should just stop right there.
Okay. What do we know?
So while the physical world is populated with things like plants and animals, God also created spiritual creatures. And we know that they were here before people. They were created before people. But unlike us, they will not die.
Yeah, and in scriptures we see that they're often clothed in white and surrounded with light.
Right. Let me read to you from Daniel chapter 10, right here, verses 5 and 6. I lifted up my eyes and looked, and behold, a man clothed in linen with a belt of fine gold from Uphaz around his waist. His body was like beryl, his face like the appearance of lightning, his eyes like flaming torches, his arms and legs like the gleam of burnished bronze, and the sounds of his words like the sound of a multitude. Angels are shown in the Bible to be mighty creatures.
Mighty, yes, but obviously not. They wouldn't be as mighty as God.
Of course, but they are called holy and sinless, and they actually have a rank, and God sends them to do specific things.
So is it fair to say, just like people were created for a purpose, that the angels were created for a purpose as well?
Yes, and actually angels were first created to be worshipers of God, and all over in the Bible there are different pictures of angels and other spiritual beings worshiping God.
Yeah, I think of Hebrews 12:22, it says there are innumerable angels worshiping God all at once.
Even in Luke 15:10, it talks about angels actually celebrating when a sinner repents.
Yeah, they like to have parties. They must be, because it also says that they celebrated the birth of Jesus.
And angels are also called servants and messengers of God. And in fact, if you read the Bible, there are stories about angels bringing different messages to people. But even in the world today, they can still bring messages to God's people.
That's crazy to think about, because we don't see, I don't go on the subway and I see an angel there. I don't see angels all around me.
No, angel visitation is a rare and special occurrence, but we do know that angels can take human form and they can actually intervene on behalf of God's people. And Brent, you could actually host or serve an angel without even knowing it.
Oh, is that what they call entertaining angels? with my singing or my dancing.
Oh, please no. And no drums either.
Oh, come on.
No, I'm talking about the verse Hebrews 13:2. Can you read that one?
Hebrews 13:2. Well, we're told not to neglect to show hospitality to strangers, for thereby some have entertained angels unawares. So we could entertain angels without even realizing it?
Exactly.
I don't know if we've entertained angels, but I know we've definitely had house guests who are not angels.
That's true. Like the kids' friends.
Yeah. Okay, well, it seems like there's a lot more to angels than I originally thought in the Bible. Let's go, well, you log in, I'll log in. Let's go to Discipleship Essentials, and I know they have an article there on this as well.
Yeah, I love that site. I have it bookmarked here. I go there so much. Okay,
here's one.
Yeah.
Angels are under God's command, not ours. But God can cause angels to protect us physically or spiritually. And throughout the Bible, God's angels have been deliverers of messages. Often these are messages of comfort and announcing God's plans, but sometimes they're messages of warning. So I don't think we should assume that angels are always like peaceful or really nice, right? That their message might hurt.
Wow. Well, look at this. They have a passage here, Matthew 13:49-50. It says, "One day angels will gather together the righteous and cast the evil one into the lake of fire." Whoa. So Brent, knowing all this, what do you think our response should be?
First, we shouldn't worship angels. I think this is where people get confused. So people worship angels, but angels are a created being. So instead of worshiping the created being, we should worship the Creator.
Good point. Well, and look at this, Brent. When we do worship God, unseen angels join us. Wow. And it's pretty comforting to know, too, that God's angels can protect us.
Protect us, and they can also bring us messages from God as well.
Well, and there's one more thing here. God's angels are capable of fighting both physical and spiritual battles and are positioned against Satan and his demons. That's interesting because I've definitely thought of them involved in the spiritual battle, but physical battles as well.
Yeah, and I think we think a lot about angels, but we don't think that much about demons.
Oh, they've got some info here. Demons are former angels who chose to rebel against God or to serve Satan instead of God. They were once perfect, but have been cast out of God's presence.
And they're spiritual beings, and they're powerful, but yet they're limited by God. So they can torment or possess people, but they're still under God's power. And we can read accounts of Jesus casting out demons in the Gospels. So in Luke 4:41, "And demons also came out of many, crying, 'You are the Son of God.' But Jesus rebuked them and would not allow them to speak, because they knew that he was the Christ." It's interesting, when you read about demons in the Bible, because they were afraid of Jesus, they recognized his authority, but yet they still wouldn't worship him.
And because demons oppose God, they try to turn people away from him. It says here this can include promoting division and false teaching, tormenting people physically or mentally, inhabiting people and places. But they are subject to God.
People can be possessed by demons, and Christians must have some place in helping deliver them from that. But I've only ever seen that in movies, and it really freaks me out.
Oh yeah, if I saw that, I'd be totally out of my league. I'd have no idea what to do.
Yeah, and I think what we should do, if you're ever in that situation, is seek out somebody like a pastor or someone in your faith community that has experience with demons, but also realizing that we have no power over demons at all. Only Jesus Christ does, and it's his power living within us that actually defeats these demons.
And we need God's protection when dealing with demons. But fortunately, we know we can trust him and we can be confident that he is more powerful than them. So we don't need to be afraid.
We need to be less worried about demons possessing us, but more influencing us. I think that's how they typically work in our life.
Yeah, they want to hinder us in our relationship with God, and they can do that through temptation and just trying to lead us away from God.
Yeah, some of the things that make people more susceptible to this is, people dabble in occult practices. which leaves them susceptible to demons in their life. But also things like unrepented sin really give the devil a foothold in our lives.
Yeah, and in the same way that Christians might experience visitation from angels, we can also experience demonic attacks as well. Whoa.
But we don't need to be afraid, Celeste. You know, nothing can separate us from the love of God, not even demons.
And we know who wins in the end. Who wins in the end, dear?
Jesus!
Yeah, God is ultimately victorious.
You know, Celeste, as much as we know about angels and demons, which, as we've found out today, isn't that much, there's also other spiritual beings that God created that we don't know as much about. I think about the seraphim. Do you know who the seraphim are?
Yeah, they fly above the throne of God and worship him.
And then there's also the cherubim, who are the guardians of the holy things of God.
And there are many other spiritual creatures actually mentioned in the book of Revelation.
And you know, if you think about it, God is so creative. We look at the earth and all the things he's created. Even in the spiritual realm, he's created so much. And we can praise God that he's so diverse and so creative.
And he carries out his plans through many means, including these spiritual creatures.
So, Celeste, to summarize, what of the little that we do know, what do we know about these spiritual beings?
Okay, people are shown to fear angels in the Bible, but we need not fear them. They are servants of God, and they bring messages for our good. Angels are described as clothed in white, shining, and having an otherworldly appearance. When they appear to people, they can take on this form or be disguised as a regular person. Angels are created to worship God, serve him, which sometimes includes helping his people and delivering his messages. Demons are fallen angels that oppose God and try to torment humans and draw them away from God. God can protect us from demons, and they are under the authority of God. Putting on the armor of God, praying, and resisting sin will help protect us from demons, and God is ultimately victorious.
Oh!
I have a message for you.
Are you an angel or a demon?
Both.
I'll get the children!